Daniel looked calm, composed, and perfectly in control, just like he always did. At 38 years old, he was the director of one of Chicago's fastest-growing tech companies. Newspapers often described him as a brilliant strategist and a fearless businessman. But tonight, sitting alone at a small table, Daniel looked more tired than powerful. He adjusted the cuff of his expensive dark suit and glanced at his watch. रात के 8 बजने में 18 मिनट बाकी. His blind date was already 12 minutes late. Daniel sighed quietly and picked up his coffee, though it had already gone cold. Blind dates were not his idea of a good evening. His assistant, Laura, had practically forced him to agree. Sir, you work 16 hours a day, she had told him earlier that week. You need a life outside board meetings and business calls. Daniel had raised an eyebrow at her. And you think a blind date will fix that? Laura had smiled confidently. You never know. Now, sitting in the cafe, Daniel was beginning to believe this had been a mistake. He checked the door again. Nothing. He leaned back in his chair slightly, observing the people around him. A young couple nearby was celebrating something, maybe an anniversary. The girl held a small gift box and looked delighted. Daniel watched them for a moment before looking away. He had money, success, a large apartment overlooking the Chicago skyline, expensive cars, important connections, but nights like this reminded him of something uncomfortable. His life was very quiet. He checked his watch again. रात के 7:45 बजे. 5 more minutes, he muttered to himself. If she didn't arrive by then, he would leave politely and tell Laura not to arrange any more surprises. Just as he reached for his coat, the cafe door suddenly opened. A cold gust of wind swept inside, bringing a few snowflakes with it. People near the entrance glanced up briefly. A young woman stepped inside, slightly out of breath. Her cheeks were pink from the cold, and small snowflakes clung to her long brown hair. She quickly closed the door behind her and looked around the cafe nervously. Her eyes scanned the room until they landed on Daniel. She hesitated for a moment. Then she walked toward his table. Her steps were careful, almost uncertain. When she reached him, she spoke softly. Daniel. Daniel looked up. The woman standing in front of him didn't look like someone who belonged in the wealthy circles he usually moved in. She wore a simple blue dress and an old beige coat that had clearly been worn for many winters. Her shoes were clean but slightly faded, and her small purse looked well used. Yet there was something about her face that caught Daniel's attention. Her eyes were warm, honest. Yes, Daniel said calmly. You must be Anna. She nodded quickly. Yes, Anna Lewis. She looked embarrassed and quickly added, I'm really sorry I'm late. Daniel gestured to the chair across from him. Please, sit. Anna sat down carefully, still catching her breath. My bus broke down near the station, she explained. Then I had to wait for another one, and when it stopped 2 blocks away I just ran the rest of the way. Daniel noticed the slight snow melting on her coat. You ran here? He asked. She smiled nervously. I didn't want to cancel. That would have been rude. Daniel nodded slowly. That answer surprised him a little. Most people he knew would simply send a message and reschedule. A waiter approached their table with menus. Good evening, he said politely. Can I start you with something to drink? Coffee, Daniel said. Anna glanced at the menu before answering. Coffee for me too, please. The waiter nodded and walked away. Anna finally relaxed a little in her chair. I was worried you might have left already, she admitted. Daniel gave a small smile. I almost did. Her eyes widened. Oh, but I didn't, he said. She smiled with relief. The waiter soon returned with 2 steaming cups of coffee and placed the menus on the table. Anna picked up the menu slowly. Daniel noticed something subtle as her eyes moved across the page. Her expression changed, very slightly. Her shoulders stiffened, and she paused longer than expected while reading. Daniel knew that look. He had seen it many years ago when his own family struggled financially. It was the look of someone quietly calculating prices. He closed his menu casually. I think I'll just order something simple tonight, he said. Anna glanced up quickly. Really? Yes. I had a late lunch. Her shoulders relaxed a little. That sounds good, she said. They ordered a small dinner, nothing expensive. For a moment, silence settled between them. Blind dates always had that awkward beginning where both people tried to decide what to say. Daniel finally spoke. So, what do you do, Anna? She hesitated before answering. I work at a bookstore. Full-time, part-time, she said. And sometimes I help at a small community library. Daniel nodded with interest. A bookstore sounds peaceful. It is, she said, her eyes lighting up. I love it. Her voice suddenly carried excitement. I get to recommend stories to children who are just learning to read. Some of them come back every week asking for new adventures. Daniel watched her expression carefully. She wasn't trying to impress him. She was simply talking about something she loved. And you? Anna asked politely. Daniel shrugged slightly. I run a technology company. Her eyes widened a little. Oh, wow. She looked both impressed and slightly intimidated. That sounds very important. Daniel smiled faintly. Some days, their conversation slowly became easier. Anna talked about books she loved growing up. She described how stories help people escape difficult moments in life. Daniel found himself listening more than speaking. For the first time in weeks, he felt strangely relaxed. Almost an hour passed. Then the waiter returned quietly and placed the bill on the table. Anna reached for it automatically. The moment she saw the total, her expression froze. Her eyes widened slightly. Daniel immediately noticed. Anna opened her small purse and looked inside. Then again, her fingers moved quickly, counting something. Her face slowly turned pale. Daniel realized what was happening. Anna swallowed nervously and looked down at the table. I'm really sorry, she whispered. Daniel stayed silent. I thought I had enough money, she continued softly. But I paid my rent yesterday and I must have miscalculated. She looked deeply embarrassed. I can pay you back later, she said quickly. Or maybe I can come back tomorrow and... She stopped speaking, clearly mortified. The cheerful cafe suddenly felt very quiet around their table. Daniel looked at the bill. Then he looked at Anna. And in that moment, something unexpected stood in his mind. For a moment, the cheerful sounds of the cafe faded into the background for Daniel Carter. The quiet clinking of cups, the soft jazz music, and the low murmur of conversations from other tables seemed distant now. His attention was focused only on the young woman sitting across from him. Anna kept her eyes lowered. Her fingers still rested on the edge of the bill, but she wasn't looking at it anymore. Her shoulders had become tense, and a faint pink color of embarrassment spread across her cheeks. Daniel had seen many people react to money before. In business meetings, people argued about it. In negotiations, people fought for it. At luxury events, people spent it without thinking. But what he saw now was different. Anna wasn't pretending. She wasn't making excuses. She was simply ashamed of not having enough. Daniel slowly picked up the bill from the table. Anna immediately looked up. I'm really sorry, she repeated quickly. This has never happened to me before. Daniel studied her face for a moment. There was no arrogance, no expectation that he should solve the problem. Only honesty. He took his wallet from his coat pocket. Then he calmly placed his card inside the small black bill folder. The waiter arrived a moment later and quietly took it away. Anna looked both relieved and uncomfortable. You didn't have to do that, she said softly. Daniel leaned back slightly in his chair. Why not? Because it was supposed to be my responsibility too. Daniel smiled faintly. It was dinner, not a business contract. Anna gave a small nervous laugh, though she still looked embarrassed. I still feel bad, she admitted. Daniel folded his hands together on the table. You know something interesting, he said. Anna looked curious. What? This is actually the longest blind date I've had in years. She blinked in surprise. Really? Daniel nodded. Most of them last 10 minutes. Anna tilted her head slightly. 10 minutes. That's barely enough time to finish a coffee. Exactly, Daniel replied. So what happens after 10 minutes? She asked. Daniel shrugged. Usually the conversation becomes predictable. How? People try to impress me. Anna looked confused. Well, isn't that normal on a date? Daniel gave a thoughtful smile. Perhaps. He paused for a moment before continuing. But tonight was different. Anna frowned slightly. How? You didn't try to impress me. She laughed softly. That's probably because I was too busy worrying about the menu prices. Daniel chuckled. That's exactly my point. Anna looked at him curiously. You're not upset. About what? The bill. Daniel shook his head. No, but I should have been more careful. Daniel studied her expression again. You know what most people would have done in your situation? He asked. What? They would pretend they forgot their wallet. Anna smiled awkwardly. I thought about that for half a second. Daniel laughed. But you didn't. No, she said honestly. I'm terrible at lying. For the first time that evening, Daniel laughed out loud. Several people at nearby tables glanced over briefly before returning to their conversations. The tension around their table finally disappeared. After a moment, Daniel stood up. Come on, he said. Anna looked confused. Where are we going? Outside, she blinked. Now, yes. She grabbed her coat and followed him toward the cafe door. When they stepped outside, the cold Chicago air greeted them again. Snowflakes drifted slowly through the streetlights, covering the sidewalks in a thin white blanket. Cars moved slowly along the road, their headlights reflecting off the wet pavement. Anna wrapped her coat tighter around herself. It's colder than I expected, she said. Daniel looked up at the falling snow. Chicago winters are like that. They began walking slowly down the quiet street. For a few minutes, neither of them spoke. Then Daniel finally broke the silence. When I was younger, he said, my family wasn't wealthy. Anna glanced at him with surprise. Really? He nodded. My father owned a small electronics shop. What happened? The business failed when I was 16. Anna listened quietly. We lost almost everything, Daniel continued. Our house, our savings, even the shop. That must have been hard. It was. He paused as they stopped at a street corner. I remember how embarrassed my parents felt sometimes. Anna looked down slightly. Daniel continued walking. They worked incredibly hard to rebuild their lives, he said. But I never forgot how it felt to watch them count every dollar. Anna said softly, that sounds familiar. Daniel looked at her. Does it? She nodded. My mother raised me alone, she said. Money was always tight. Daniel understood immediately. That explains the bookstore job. She smiled. Books are cheap adventures. Daniel liked that answer. They stopped walking under a streetlight. Snowflakes drifted gently around them. Daniel looked at her thoughtfully. You know something. What? Anna asked. Tonight reminded me of something important. She waited. That success means nothing if you forget what real life looks like. Anna smiled gently. Real life sometimes includes awkward dinner bills. Daniel laughed again. Yes, it does. For a moment they simply stood there, watching the snow fall. Then Daniel said something unexpected. Would you like to meet again? Anna looked surprised. You mean, another date? Yes. She hesitated for a second. But I couldn't even pay for tonight's dinner. Daniel shrugged. That's not why I asked. Then why? He looked at her honestly. Because you were the most genuine person I've met in a long time. Anna felt warmth spread across her face despite the cold air. And what if I can't afford dinner next time either? She asked playfully. Daniel smiled. Then we'll choose a cheaper cafe. She laughed. And after that, maybe you can buy the coffee. Anna thought about it for a moment. Then she nodded. I think I can afford coffee. Good, Daniel said. They began walking again, side by side.